This is day 2 of reviewing tech stuff where I live, and I live in Enugu, and we're going to talk about this place called The Yard. Essentially, The Yard is a place where they offer private picnics, and they also have a restaurant as well. But in this video, we're going to talk about their arcade. Now, many of you who live in Enugu probably don't know that The Yard actually has an arcade, and it is pretty cool that they have one. And I'm going to talk about each of the games that they have based on when I went there. Now, first of all, they have this racing game, and basically the game is like one that they have steering wheels like this, and the game is essentially called Blur. It's an old popular game that is trending in Nigeria, which I really like. Now, let me just tell you something. If you are going to play the game, you need to use like the left and right button on the steering wheel and not the steering wheel itself, because the steering wheel itself is not sensitive like at all. Like the sensitivity is so low that you have to turn it all the way before it moves, and it's so hard to control. So using the buttons that are on the steering wheel will help you to play the game better. At the same time, they have two of them, one steering wheel here and one steering wheel there, but unfortunately they cannot do two player. It's only single player. And for them to do single player, it is possible, but they need to use like all this LAN and wireless stuff for them to actually achieve two player, in my opinion. The next game that I also saw there was this alien game where you shoot aliens based on that popular Aliens movie. Unfortunately, that one wasn't working when I went there to try and play it. Another game that they also had there was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I'm a very huge fan of that game, and I really love that they did have all these like arcade soundware buttons, which I think is really nice. Now, unfortunately, you are unable to do two player in the game, and sometimes the controls may not even work. But then like not every button works and everything, but I mean the game is still playable. The only problem that I have personally when playing that Marvel vs. Capcom game they have is that the frame rate is extremely low, so it gets really annoying whenever you play. Now, they also had this other game, Spider-Man. Yeah, I tried to play that, but that wasn't working at all. There was even this other game that they had, which was basically Baldosera. It's run by Raspberry Pi. Like, it basically has like, different games, like retro games from PSP and, older games as well. Unfortunately, that one wasn't working. Like, the thing can turn on, but the controls, they said, according to them, said that the controls don't always work. So I never even got to play that one. Another game that they also had there was Subway Surfers. Now, I did play this one, and this one was okay. It wasn't really super interesting to me, but then basically for that game, you use a joystick and you control the character. And I mean, it's a really fun game, especially if you're someone who's into the Subway Surfers game itself. You could actually play that there. Now, finally, let's talk about the Xbox 360. Now, for the Xbox 360, they use the Xbox Connect, and I'm really happy to see that they actually have that stuff there. And the game that they have there is Dance Central. So basically, it's a game where now that the characters will be dancing, and then from there you have to copy their moves, and the more accurately you copy their moves, the more points you get. So games like these are really interesting. Like in our house we have Just Dance, and it's similar to Dance Central that they have there, but both of those games are fun in my opinion. Now, this one fortunately can be played with 2 or more players, but let me just advise you, if you're a tall person, you may have difficulty playing these games, because let me not even talk about my experience, but still, it is really fun, and I'm telling you, that is the best game they have there in my opinion. So if you're with your friends, all of you go together and play this thing. Like, I wish I had people to play this stuff with, if I'm being very honest with you. Now, they did have other Connect related games, but according to the person who works there, they said that those games have not been tested at the time I went there. Maybe they've tested them, maybe they do work, and they had other interesting games that I wish that I could actually play, if I'm being very honest, but it's just that Dance Central that they had available. But still, it's the best one in my opinion, especially when you're with people. Now, the people that also work there did say that they did have plans on adding like a PS5 or something there. I don't know, but they probably have added it there. I don't know yet, but then still, their arcade is still something that they can work on, and I believe that it can be much better in my opinion. So yeah, that is all for this episode. If you want any more, please comment below, okay? And bye bye.